How's it going, everybody? Smitty here, and this is Uke with Smitty. I'm going to share with y'all today my the five best ukulele finger coordination exercises. 4 are going to be picking single notes, and 1 is going to be chords. There's a free PDF in the description below, and let's just talk a little bit about why one might want to do these exercises. Well, there's a few benefits. Number 1 is they make great warm-ups. They get your fingers, kind of primed to play whatever you want to play. They're a great thing to do when you're not necessarily working on a specific song or piece, and you don't want to learn a totally new skill, but you want to just pick up the uke and have something to mess around with. They really help reinforce good technique because they'll expose if you're doing something poorly, and they kind of teach you to play in position, which playing in position is having each finger on its own fret. So the first finger on the first fret, second on the second, third on the third, fourth on the fourth. And this would be the first position because it's all starting on the first fret. This would be the second position, third position, and so on and so forth. Now what you find is when you play in position, and there's times where you want to move out of position to hit certain notes, but it's generally the most efficient way to play, moving the least and getting to a note kind of the most seamlessly, the smoothest. You want to be able to play with technique where you don't have to use a lot of energy, you don't have to move a lot more than necessary, you don't waste a lot of extra movements, and you also want to be able to build pinky independence. So a lot of times when you're playing chords, especially when you get to more complex chords like, you're going to need to have that pinky independence. It's just going to help a lot when you're getting to jazzier things, when you're getting to fingerstyle melodies and whatever. Having that independent pinky is going to help, and all of these exercises reinforce that. So let's start with the first one. It's my favorite one of all of them. It's got the least creative name, and that's just the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise. Oh, quick note, any of these can be done on a low G or a high G. I'm using the low G here. I find that I kind of like the extra range for these exercises, but it's the same exact thing, and it's just an octave higher with a high G. You can do, just take your choice. Okay, so let's start with the 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise. So as you might imagine, it's just going up the strings from fret 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can follow along in the tab PDF if you download that as well. So you're just going to start on the G string and go 1, 2, 3, 4, skip to the C string, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip to the E string, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip to the A string, 1, 2, 3, 4. So just that right there, very simple but very powerful because there's so many variations. You can do twice. You can practice triplets, etc., etc. And you can also do it descending. So this is my favorite variation that I'm going to cover in the entire video, and that is doing that 1, 2, 3, 4, but working your way up the neck by ascending and descending. So check it out. You do what we just did, 1, 2, 3, 4, then skip to the next string, skip to the next string, skip to the next string. Okay, now we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to go up 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 7, 6, 5, 4, etc., etc., all the way up to the 12th fret. Now you can go beyond the 12th fret, but you kind of run out of space on a lot of ukes. I can go comfortably up a couple frets, and then I just feel like pretty scrunched there. So this is the one that I end up using probably the most out of all of these, just as a warm-up, as something to do, in between learning songs. And I find that it's just built so much dexterity in my fingers and has taught me to play well, where you're not pressing harder than you need to press. You're finding that sweet spot, which is usually about 70% between the fret closer up to the higher end of the frets. You don't want it to be too low because you'll probably buzz, and you don't want to be right on the fret, usually right at 70%, something like that, and just pressing lightly enough to make the note ring out clearly. So that's the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the ascending, descending variation. Okay, the next one is going to be called string skipping. Oh, I wanted to say, just to cite my sources, a couple of these are from Lil Rev, the ukulele teacher, who's written a lot of good books and videos and stuff, and several are from Brad Bordessa's stuff, liveukulele.com, specifically left-hand technique for ukulele, the course. And a couple of them I've adapted and changed, and a couple of them are straight from those two places. Highly recommended teachers. So this next one is called string skipping. And the reason it's so good is it's the same thing we're doing, but you're learning not to just go to the next sequential string from G to C to E to A, but you're skipping one in between, which is going to happen a lot when you are playing songs. So it's the same thing we were doing, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the G string. Then you're going to skip the C string and go to the E string. Then you're going to go skip back to the C string, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to skip finally to the A string finally. So it's like this. And of course, you can do the same thing descending. 4, 3, 2, 1, skip to the E string. 4, 3, 2, 1 to the C string. 4, 3, 2, 1 to the A string. And of course, you can do this the same way we were just doing the other one, where you can go and then skip up a fret. Skip up a fret. Etc., etc. There's so many variations of these that can keep you occupied really for years, I would say, just kind of doing them on and off and really trying to pay attention to your technique, making sure your notes ring out clearly, you don't hit strings unintentionally, etc., etc. So that's the second one. Okay, my next one I'm going to cover is called the Hourglass Exercise. And this one is going to start the same way we were just going, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the G string. And then what you're going to do is you're going to connect. You're basically doing 1, 2, 3, 4 on the G string and the A string, and you're connecting in between. So it'll go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go to the C string and hit the 3rd fret. Then you're going to go to the E string, hit the 2nd fret. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go work our way back down. The E string, 3rd fret. C string, 2nd fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it makes more sense if you look at the tab, but it's like this. As you might imagine, you can do the same thing working up as with all the other ones. You can also do it descending. So that would be 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that's the Hourglass Exercise. You can do it ascending and descending, just like the others. Okay, so this will be the last picking exercise, and then we'll do a chord exercise. This one is called the Major 7 Flutter Exercise. Brad Bordessa said he borrowed it from somewhere else and adapted a little bit, and I really like this one. So you're going to set up with the 4th fret with your pinky on the G string, the 3rd fret with your ring finger on the C string, the 2nd fret on the E string with your middle finger, and the 1st fret on the A string with your 1st finger. It's going to look like this, which is actually a major 7 chord that's movable. Okay, that's why it's called the Major 7 Flutter. So you're going to work your way up, and you're going to go G, C, E, A. Then you're going to go 1, 2, 1, then back down. So it sounds like this. So you could just stop there, but this is the variation that Brad Bordessa uses that I really like. You go from 1, 2, then 1, 3, then 1, 4. So it sounds like this. Keep going back down, up and down, and up and down, and you can obviously work that up and down as well. But it teaches you to have every finger not only on its own fret, but on its own string, and to work in kind of some sort of melody in addition to that. So that's the Major 7 Flutter Exercise. Okay, here's the final one. It is the only one that talks about chords. All the others are individual notes. And this is called the Chord Relay Exercise. So we're going to do that same major 7th chord shape that we just did, which is, working your way from 4, 3, 2, 1 up the strings from G to A. And then we're going to switch. So instead of from nose to toes, the tab would be 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And this chord doesn't usually sound very good. It's not about the sound, it's just about the practice. So you switch from 4, 3, 2, 1, nose to toes tab, to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. then 6, 5, 4, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you keep doing that and working your way all the way up the fretboard. Usually by the time you get to the 12th fret or beyond, you might run out of space with some ukes, or you might not even have those frets. But usually I get to maybe the 14th, and now I'm kind of buzzing a little bit from just not having enough space. But anyway, so those are my top 5 favorite, the 5 best ukulele finger coordination exercises. I've gotten a lot of benefit from them. I find that they are just great to do when you want to warm up, when you don't know what to play and just want to play something, and there's something that you can see tangible improvements on throughout the months and years. I've gotten a lot of help from them. I hope you will too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.